Coup at the zoo. What? Cruella de Vil barked into her phone late one night. She had put an ad in the paper looking for henchmen, and she'd finally had a reply. A smooth voice replied, "Ma'am, Horace is the name. Me and my mate Jasper here would be honoured to be your humble crooks." "Assistance," someone, presumably Jasper, hissed into the receiver. "Same thing," Horace whispered back. Cruella grinned. She had her first candidates. "Splendid! Meet me tomorrow night at the local inn, 8 o'clock sharp." Then she hung up. The next night, Cruella arrived at the inn to interview the two hopefuls. As Cruella scanned the room, suddenly a ruckus erupted. "It was my smarts we used to scam this hot meal, and for some reason it's in your rotten mouth. You wouldn't know smarts if they fell from the sky and hit you on your big head." Cruella smirked, recognizing their voices. Cruella walked over to the bickering men. "Darlings, I'm Cruella de Vil. If you'd like to become my assistants, you must convince me we're a good fit. I'd like for you to steal an animal from the new zoo. Can you do it?" She jangled her heavy coin purse for effect, and the crooks eyed it with wild hunger. "Just tell us when, Mr. Vil," said Jasper. The next morning, a poorly disguised Cruella met Horace and Jasper outside the soon-to-be-open London Zoo. "Hello, ma'am. Didn't recognise you. Which animal do you fancy we fetch?" Horace hollered. "Not so loud," Cruella scolded. "That one," she said, pointing at a photo of the polar bear. "This'll be easy, ma'am," whispered Jasper. "All right, now, easy does it." Jasper guided Horace, who was working a large net into the sleeping polar bear's cage. But they woke the bear up. Jasper and Horace beat a hasty retreat. Cruella turned crimson at the duo's failure. "You cowards!" she spluttered. "Sorry, ma'am," said Horace. "What about a smaller animal? A cheetah, perhaps?" Cruella glared at him. Finally, she sighed. "I do have a soft spot for, well, spots." Cruella decided to join them and watched the slow-witted crooks struggle with the fast cheetah. Cruella grew even more furious. You fools," she growled. "I've just about had it with you two." Next, Horace and Jasper decided to try and fish themselves a catch, but the dolphin proved to be a bit slippery. "Wretches," barked Cruella. "I don't know why I wanted a dolphin, but that's beside the point." It seemed clear as day that Horace and Jasper simply didn't have what it took to crook. But Cruella was willing to give them a final shot. "Try stealing one of the more docile little beasts," she instructed them. "Do it, and do it now." Horace and Jasper wasted no time breaking into the petting zoo. "We've got this in the can, mate," Jasper said to Horace as they sauntered into the animal pens. But then a baby llama spat in their face, a piglet chased them into the mud, and the ducklings pecked at them in the pond. "It hurts! It hurts!" howled Horace. "I can't stand it no more," Jasper said, weeping. Outside the petting zoo, Cruella was growing more and more impatient. Suddenly, the men appeared and they ran right past her. "Stampede!" yelled Jasper. "Run!" shouted Horace. Cruella waited for the massive beasts who had inspired that level of terror in Horace and Jasper to arrive. But all that scampered into view were little fuzzy ducklings, small muddy piglets, sweet baby llamas, and baying baby goats. Cruella boiled over, realizing that Horace and Jasper must have accidentally released these animals. "Idiots!" yelled Cruella. Cruella had finally had enough of Horace and Jasper's hijinks. She looked around. What an utter disaster! One animal would be fine, but she didn't want the police on high alert because someone had stolen the entire petting zoo. "I'll handle this," she grumbled. Cruella retrieved her car and herded all the animals back into their cages and pens. "My car! It's filthy! You are good for nothing. You can't even fix your own mess. Didn't I mention I hate getting my hands dirty?" Cruella roared at Horace and Jasper. "This is the last time I ever work with you, you idiots," Horace suggested. "Complete imbeciles," Jasper offered. "Shut up!" Cruella screamed. The men flinched. A little while later, Cruella sagged up the stairs to her room at the manor. She opened the door, and her jaw instantly dropped. Her bedroom had been completely transformed. The furniture had all been uncovered, and everything sparkled like new. Just then, there was a tap at her door. Horace and Jasper were standing in the doorway. "Now you don't have to get your hands any dirtier than they already are," Horace burst out. "We can't fix up our own messes, but we sure can fix up yours, miss," added Jasper. "You did, didn't you? Well, you did a rather mediocre job." But Cruella couldn't fight a sly smile. "It is nice to have company here. It can get a bit lonely." "Oh, fine. I'll have you two as my assistants." Horace and Jasper smiled as Cruella flopped down on her freshly made bed, dirt and all. "Now, let's see if your breakfast is better than your thieving." The end.